Where are you going?
Ben, it's the only place I can go and write what I want to write.
No, I'm not buying that. You can write anywhere. I think you're running away.
How did you save your mind games for your next bet, okay? I am not running away.
What do you think of that?
Bullshit.
So that's How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Yeah.
Another great hit. Definitely a chick flick, which has a lot of great call-outs on it. And my favorite actor, Matthew McConaughey.
All right.
All right.
Dude, I had that on Laserdisc. Yeah.
What's your thoughts?
I think it goes back to, that chick that was beating up Billy Madison in the pool, right? But now we see it from the other side. We see it the other way. And it's obviously Matthew McConaughey can't hold that lady's head underwater because that goes into a whole other different legal territory. But he knew how to call her out in a way that was going to be effective. Because in the story, he gets to know her well enough to know like the points to hit that are going to have the most impact and have the most like probably thought-provoking reaction past the initial probably anger or upset feelings that it could cause.
Yeah,
and that's a pretty good human reflection of marriages or relationships just in general. As a lot of times you get close enough to somebody to like call them out on their crap. Initially it might be hurtful, but they're right, like deep down inside, right? Like, with my back being really messed up, I totally slack on my chores. Like some days I just can't do it. Like I'm in too much pain. But I know it makes my wife upset because it's like she works all day and then she's got to do all this other stuff. I don't work all day. I should have plenty of time to do those things. And some days I do. I just don't feel like doing it. But, it's when she calls me out on it, it's a little bit hurtful. But I know she's right.
I feel like I'm like the only dude, I think we said this before, that understands exactly that state of mind that you feel. Like when Cindy would do things and I was in the neck brace, I'd be home all day. She'd have a shitty day. I didn't have anything to do. And I just remember being like, I have to do something. Because like they don't know what you're going through. They don't have that feeling. They don't have...
Yeah. How could you possibly ever get somebody else to understand what you're going through unless they've lived the exact same life you have? They could get the same injury as you, but they could heal, or it could be totally different.
Yeah. And you also have to call them out on it too, because
right.
We were driving one time and we were on our way to Costco and we missed a marriage counseling session. And I have been very proactive of trying to I like it because it allows us to have just that extra niche of safe space that allows her maybe to talk about any feelings or anything that she wants to get off her chest. And
dialogue is important.
Yeah, IHOP. So we missed it, and I was like, I just opened the door, conversation. I was like, well, I'm kind of bummed, and she looked at me kind of odd, and I was like, is there anything you feel like that's been bothering you that you wanted to bring up in the session, kind of allowing the safe space? And she didn't want to tell me. She didn't want to. You could tell something was bothering her, but then once we finally pulled over, and I was like, whatever it is, you think you're doing me a favor by not saying, you're actually making it worse for you. And you see that a lot. People don't say anything. Like, how many times did you have a real friend, a good friend that was just like, you know what, you're an asshole. And you're like, you guys are actually more of a better friendship, have better friendship now than you did before. Because you're like, yeah, you told me exactly what I need to hear when I needed to hear it.
Yep. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I've had a few people in my life over the years that have been like that. And, fortunately I'm still in contact with, 2 of them. But yeah, it's important to have somebody to check you in your life. It's like that whole idea of confirmation bias. And it's like the logarithms on Facebook or YouTube. If you exclusively seek out and watch very conservative content, the logarithm is going to feed into that. They're going to feed you the thing that you want, but they're also going to feed you the thing that you hate to reinforce the thing that you want. Like the opposite. That's how these things are designed. It's the logarithm, man. Like all of these companies, YouTube, whatever, they're just vying for bits of your attention. Like, and it's the same thing with being, you know, with your wife or something like that. It's like you got to get all those distractions away to really focus on, you know, or get down to what the root of the problem is. Because it may not even just be the thing that you're arguing about. It could just be you didn't pick your shoes up. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's that simple.
Yeah, that night that I told you about, we weren't arguing for whatever reason we were looping ourselves about. We were arguing because she saw that transaction and she thought I had an OnlyFans account.
Yeah.
I was like, no,
Yep.
that was some dumb charge. Yeah. Interesting, isn't it? Sometimes.
Yeah, and then it's interesting to look at her and see like where the mind immediately went. Like,
yeah.
You know. Yeah. That's interesting.
I really hope they get the skill of just being able to be open-minded rather than conservative and reserved. And that doesn't even go into like the different categories of like people's gender preference or that touching. That just goes into just be open-minded and just be willing to just listen to somebody else.
Somebody explained that very same thing to me. I don't know if this is exactly right, but they explained it to me like this one time. It's like, you see a lot of people on the left, they have a lot of time to riot or protest or, you know, whatever. You know, and something comes up that's like the other side of the aisle, and you would think it's like a big enough issue that people should be out in the streets doing the same thing. But then you realize a lot of those conservative people that take issue with that, like, they got to get up and go to work. You know, they're framers and concrete guys and plumbers and work in stores or what. Like, they don't have that time to do that thing. You know what I mean? So it's like, and I don't want to feed into either one of those things. Like, I don't want to just look at the one thing and have the confirmation bias. Like, obviously there's a reason these people on this side are upset. And I think we have a responsibility as human beings to at least listen and try to understand where this issue is coming from instead of letting it just totally spiral out of control and have what we see today, which is going on in society. The dialogue was closed. You know, the door was shut to actually talk about these things and have a civil conversation.
Damn. That's really, really actually.
Yeah. Just look at news interviews, man. Anytime they get those talking heads on the TV, right? It'll be like, Fox News, we have Dr. Super Liberal here to talk about this. And then they just scream at each other for 25 minutes and nobody can hear anything. And it's like, what? I'd rather watch Play-Doh melt in the sunshine.
Yeah. I think just doing the right thing all the time.
Do the right thing.
Do the right thing. Go with your
Be
gut.
kind.
Yeah, that's the analogy. All right, next one.